Welcome back, everybody, to the Poker Model Hand Breakdown. Let's get right into it. I have 9 of clubs, 10 of clubs sitting on the big blind. The blinds are 250, 500, and the action obviously starts under the gun. All right, the action folds around to the cutoff +1, who has a huge stack, 51,000 chips. Remember that small stacks are 20 big blinds or less. Medium stacks are 21 to 50 big blinds, and large stacks are 51 big blinds or more. So 50,000 chips is about 100 big blinds here, which is a lot. I'm sitting in the big blind with 12,500 chips. All right, so the cutoff +1 raises to 1,000. The small blind makes the call, and the action's on me. Now, we spoke a lot about call behind hands. And just as a reminder, if there's one raise in front of us and we're holding King Jack, King Queen, pocket pairs 2 through Queen, Ace 10, Ace Jack, or Ace Queen, we're going to call behind the raise. And we're really going to fold all other hands, and we're going to be raising with premium hands like Aces, Kings, or Ace King. Now, this is all assuming that we have over 20 big blinds. Now, the big blind is a very special seat. Because we already have some chips invested into the pot, it's a lot easier to cheaply get into hands. So, the call behind hands that I've mentioned before, the range of those hands actually expands when I'm in the big blind. So, if there's one raise in front, and that call, like we talked about in another video from the small blind, doesn't really affect us here, and I have over 20 big blinds, and I'm in the big blind, now I'm able to call behind with any 2 cards over 7 as an added bonus here, and some pocket pairs. So 9, 10 of clubs, if I was in a different seat and there was a raise in front of me, I would be folding. But because I'm in the big blind here, I'm going to make this call. And again, if you have any questions here about the expanded range of call behind hands in the big blind, just let us know. All right, so I make the call, and the flop is Ace of Hearts, 8 of Hearts, 7 of Hearts. The small blind checks to me. Now, guess what? We're going to do the exact same thing, and you're going to get sick of me saying this, but this is how you'll learn the poker model. You will always look at a flop and qualify your hand as good, bad, mediocre. So I have, believe it or not, a mediocre hand here. And the reason I have a mediocre hand is because I have the 9 and the 10, and there's an 8 and a 7 on the board. So I have an open-ended straight draw. This means that a 6 or a Jack will give me a straight. Now, the flop is all of the same suit. So in this hand, I want to show you how we have to make slight adjustments based on the flop. So, we can make this big rule that we're going to check with mediocre hands, and a mediocre hand is an open-ended straight draw. Boom, this hand fits into that category. So for that reason, I'm going to make the check here. All right, so the original raiser makes a continuation bet, and the small blind calls. Now, because I have a mediocre hand, typically I would just call here, right? If it was like the Ace of Spades and the 8 of Diamonds and the 7 of Clubs, I'd be making this call. Why? Because it would keep me above 10,000 chips, which is the threshold, and I'd be able to see the next card, keeping my stack right, and, not investing any more money if I'm wrong. But the issue with this hand is that, like we said before, it's all hearts. So really, I'm losing 2 of my outs. If the 6 of hearts comes, then yay, I hit my straight, but any other heart that an opponent has will beat me with a flush. Same thing with the Jack of Hearts. So this is one of those scenarios where I have to use common sense. I have to know that I have a mediocre hand here, but it's even worse than that because of the suited board. So the last thing I would want to do is make my straight and then lose to something else. So ideally, the non-heart card could come and I can make my straight and, be a little bit better off. But because of all these additional factors, because my stack is approaching the 20 big blind mark and I don't have chips to really spend here or waste ever, I'm just going to make an easy fold. And so the lesson I want you to take away from this hand is that, again, you're going to have to know these definitions. You're going to want to know what mediocre means, but you also have to have the intuition to understand that if this card hits in my mediocre hand, am I going to probably be ahead? And in this situation, the answer is probably no, if it's the heart. So, we want to give you all types of different examples. We want you to see that, we're going to qualify our hands, and the more practice you get, the more this stuff will become second nature. But in today's hand, you saw kind of a mediocre hand gone wrong, kind of an illusion type of a hand where you did have an open-ended straight draw, but even if you make your straight, it's possible that you're losing. So when those situations happen, bow out, look for the next hand, and you will definitely find another spot in this very same tournament to get all your chips in. Thanks again for listening, and we look forward to hearing from you and teaching you on the next video.